With everything we've seen of Vader mostly being deadly, him hunting down Jedi, taking care of rebel scum, this time it's much different, as Silo, a confidant of Palpatine himself, who now had separated from the Empire altogether, and as far as Sidious was concerned, he had now committed high treason. Before Sidious sent Vader to handle Silo once and for all, he told him everything. How it was Silo that actually saved him from death after his injuries on Mustafar. Silo had constructed everything, including the mechanics of his dark suit, the life support systems, etc. But now, 20 years later, Silo had garnered a lot of support throughout the Empire and was attempting to take control, therefore betray Palpatine. While Vader destroyed most of Silo's enforcers without breaking a sweat really, the last part was coming now. He needed to confront Silo, who had run out of enforcers to protect him. As he approached him, guards were standing by, but to no avail. Vader demolished all of them and now was in the same room as Silo. Lord Vader, Silo welcomed him, but something was in his hand. His machines weren't enough to stop him. Perhaps, said Silo, but suddenly Silo clicked a button. He was one of Silo's machines too, and with that, Vader was now stopped dead on his tracks. With that remote, Silo stopped the functionalities of Vader's suit. Silo had kept this remote for 20 years since he built Vader's suit. He sometimes thought that his private access might have been cut off after all these years, but no. Vader was never a threat for him. He always knew that he could stop Vader with just a click of a button. Silo always wondered whether what rose from that operating table that day was a machine or a man. Well, now it was great to have an answer, as Vader was completely immobilized. He now resembled a corpse, as he could barely breathe. Everything came back to him, his disastrous fight on Mustafar, but now in totally different version, which I'll make a separate video for you guys. And everything went worse on this vision than we've ever seen, but suddenly...
You don't need to go on. It can be over. You know you don't want to leave. Stay. Anakin.
No. Anakin is dead.
You're still deactivated. How?
I killed him.
Impossible!
Vader killed Silo without no hesitation. Nothing could stop Vader simply because nothing was impossible through the Force, as he disabled the remote entirely. This shows how unstoppable was Vader really. That's precisely why I named this video the way I did. It's ironic. Vader can't be stopped, and most certainly not with a click of a button. In the end, that's what Silo didn't understand. The Force and the mysticism of it were a complete mystery to Silo, and he refused to believe that a magical religion could overpower calculated science. He tracked down Silo's flagship, which was a cybernetic Purgle essentially, able to jump to light speed whenever ready, and Silo was definitely trying to get away, but Vader was focused this time. He approached the ship in his TIE Advanced and blew a hole on the side. He was going to enter and kill Silo in any way possible. Once inside, troops were sent frantically to stop Vader as the Sith Lord rushed towards them. He was so determined that literally nothing was going to stop him, and Silo recognized this as well. He foresaw what was coming, and after Vader took care of the troops while making his way into the ship, he had entered the laboratory where all of the Silo clones were waiting for the Sith Lord. They asked him, is he jealous? Is he jealous that Silo had achieved immortality, having as many lives as he needs? Without flinching, Vader slashed all of them with his lightsaber. The fact that he could kill him multiple times was Silo's most appealing trait. As the laboratory was engulfed in flames, Vader had cleared the path for himself to now handle the last remaining piece. Still, Silo was proud of what he had achieved to this day. Neither Vader or Palpatine could ever take that away from him. He had transcended every trap and law that the Force laid out, therefore becoming immortal, using his clones for his consciousness to live on. Using the Force and extending his hand, Vader said that I will make you ash, and you will fly into the sun. After that, he simply walked off. Silo laughingly replied that his mind was protected from such mind trickery, but no, Vader wasn't speaking to Silo. He was actually talking to the brain, the core of the ship, which, if you remember, was completely organic, belonged to a Purrgil, which Silo had converted into a cybernetic ship. Vader had laid out the order: fly into the sun. The greatest mind trick Darth Vader, or Anakin Skywalker for that matter, had ever pulled in his entire life. Without hesitating, the Purrgil turned around and started flying directly into the nearby sun, with Silo going berserk. This was his machine. How could Vader have done this? But as the great Vader would say, nothing is impossible to the Force, and by all means, it was true. The Purrgil with Silo on board entered the sun completely and was obliterated into ash. Darth Vader left the site pleased with how things had turned out. Of course, he immediately appeared in front of Sidious, informing his master that Silo was gone as he had requested. This led to Vader getting promoted again, particularly above General Tage, no longer under his command. Vader didn't waste time to get his revenge on him too. As Tage was trying to create excuses here and there, Vader simply grabbed him with the Force and choked him to death. It was now done. His path was clear. All he had to do now was find his son and achieve the greatness and power he had once envisioned for himself, dethrone Palpatine, and rule the galaxy together with his son. This was an awesome issue, my friends, and I really wanted to show you guys how powerful Vader was even at an older age. I don't think he has really used the mind trick that often as both Anakin or Vader, so to see him so proficient at it was really great. But of course, what do you guys think too? Talk to me down in the comments. I would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up and hit that bell to get notified the moment a new video is up. Have an awesome day, my Star Wars friends, and may the Force be with you always.